So I just put this little video of me lying here just to introduce you a little bit to the type of yoga that this sequence is. This sequence is vinyasa yoga. It's a type of yoga where you move with the breath. So typically the poses only last for one inhalation or one exhalation. So if you feel like you need to watch the video at least once before you do it, or before you feel like you can keep up, that's okay. The main thing with this type of yoga, or maybe all types of yoga, is that you're really connected to that breath. So remember that. So we're going to start our first session warming up with some sun salutations. So just standing with the feet together or parallel, you're going to inhale the arms above the head. And as you exhale, you're going to keep the legs nice and strong as you fold forward. Inhale to find a flat back. And as you exhale, you're going to plant the hands and step back into a plank position. We're going to hold here, pulling the heels towards the back of the mat. And then you're going to exhale all the way to the floor, lift up into a little baby cobra. So using the upper back to try and lift, keep the glutes engaged. And as you exhale, you're going to go back into a down dog. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So nice full inhalations, and try and make your inhalations as long as your exhalations in this posture. So it might feel quite intense right now, but this does eventually feel like a resting posture, and it's a chance to catch your breath. You can also try a variation with bent knees, so you can keep your back nice and long. If your hamstrings aren't super long right now, then you can bend the knees. Look between the hands and just walk the feet towards them. Inhale to come up halfway, and then exhale again, folding towards the legs. Press into the heels, lift all the way up, look up, and exhale back to standing position. We'll do another one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. All the way to the end of the exhalation. Then as you inhale, come up halfway. You can always bend the knees here and keep the back nice and long, even resting the belly on the thighs. Or you can keep a nice straight back and place the hands on the shin bones or the thighs. As you exhale, you're going to press back into a plank position again, and then all the way down to the ground. Inhale up into an up dog, and then exhaling back, find down dog. So there's some variations you can take here. Press really strongly into the hands and think of shifting the hips up and back towards the back of the mat, and then pulling the heels down and back. So it's okay if your legs are bent, but you want to try and picture a nice long back and nice long hamstrings, even if it's not happening for you today. Trying to pull your inhalations as long as your exhalations. Inhale, step forward towards the hands, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold completely. You can bend the knees here or try and keep them straight, and then inhale all the way back up, exhaling to the original position. Nice. Inhale again, lift up. Exhale, fold over strong legs. Inhale, flatten the back. Think of reaching the sternum forward and down. And then plant the hands and step back or hop into a plank position. You can come through chaturanga, which is a tricep push-up, or you can go all the way to the ground and come up into a cobra or an up dog. Up dog, your knees are floating. Exhale back into down dog. And here I'm just pedaling out the legs. If your hamstrings or calves feel tight, it can be nice to pedal the legs a little bit. And we'll stay here for one more breath. So inhaling all the way, exhaling all the way to the end of the exhalation. Pedaling out the legs if you need. Good. Look between the hands and you can hop, step, or walk forward. Feet meet the hands, come up halfway using an inhalation. Exhale, fold all the way, and then inhale, press down and rise up. And then return to the original position. Let's just do one more. Inhale up, exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. find your plank. And you can hold here as long as you need to try and find the connection with the lower belly and the shoulders, really moving the shoulder blades away from the spine when you're here. Think of pulling the heels back towards the back of the mat. And then exhale, come all the way down. Inhale lifts you up into a little cobra. And then exhale, shift the hips up and back. Keep the core engaged as you do this for down dog. And we'll stay here for 1, and 2. So find that really long exhalation. 1 more, and then step towards the hands, lift up halfway. Fold forward, any amount is okay. Keep the legs strong, and then inhale, press into the ground with the heels as you lift up. Back to original position. We're going to take the feet hip width apart, and we're just going to do a very simple forward bend. You can grab opposite elbows. We're not spending too much time here, but just really nice and strong through the legs. If you need, you can bend the knees and just place your belly on your thighs. And we're just hanging down. Think of a nice long back. This is called ragdoll. So trying to feel the expansion in the back ribs. If your hands touch the ground, you can place them down. Think of nice long hamstrings. Nice stable legs so that your back, your neck, and shoulders can completely relax. And we're just going to come up halfway, so placing the hands on the shin bones and lengthen the back out again. And then we're just going to press ourselves back down onto the knees. So shoulders kind of stacked above the wrists, hips stacked above the knees. And what we've got here is a tabletop, and we're going to start doing our cat-cows. This is a very classic yoga move, where as you inhale, the chest comes forward between the hands. And as you exhale, the pelvis rolls back and you're in sort of like an angry Halloween cat shape. And I want you to do this with your own breathing. One of the tricks I like to use is to go up on the fingertips to try and exaggerate the motion a little bit. So every inhalation brings you into the cow shape, and every exhalation brings you into the arched cat shape. Inhale, let the spine drop beneath the shoulder blades, bring the chest forward, and exhale, use the pelvis so the pelvis rolls back towards the back of the mat to find your cat. Now we're going to do a few of these shifting side to side. Try not to move the hips too much. We kind of want the core engaged here. We want this movement to come from the side of the body and not the neck. The neck and shoulders already doing a lot, so just a couple side shimmies, finding your tabletop again. You're going to lift the left arm out and the right leg back. Keep the core engaged, so think of keeping the front ribs nice and tucked in as you reach out. We're going to hold here for a few more breaths. Then come back down to neutral and switch. So opposite hand, opposite leg. So we want the heel to be pressing back towards the back of the mat in this posture. And we really want that belly tucked. So try not to do too much of a back bend here. And then finding a neutral position. This time I'm putting my right leg straight out and I'm bringing it over to the left leg. I know you can't see in this video, but you're going to bring your right leg to the center and then you're going to swing it over to cross over the left leg. So you're really going to need to squeeze the thighs together as you do this, and trying to stabilize the hips here is the hardest thing. So you don't want to use your lower back or hips to make this motion. We're trying to activate the legs and the glutes. And we'll switch sides here. 2, 3, so really swing that leg over. 4, and one more, 5. You can do it. I know it's a fast-paced movement. We're going to exhale and go back into child's pose. And this is a shoulder focused child's pose. So you can keep your knees together or apart. It's completely up to you. And I want you to walk your hands out to the fingertips. So think of stretching through the armpits here. And then we're going to place the elbows down on the mat. So same pose. I'm going to take a wide-legged version so I can get lower to the ground. You can bring the hands together if they go together. If not, that's fine. Just keep finding that stretch through the shoulders, through the armpits. So think of even moving the chest forward and down towards the ground. It's really important here in a stretch like this that's quite intense for the shoulders. Make sure that you're really breathing all the way into your back. So you feel your back rise. Good. We can slowly come back to a tabletop. This time resuming our extended arm, extended leg to do a few crunches. So really focusing on the core here, bringing the opposite elbow to the opposite knee. This is sort of a Pilates move here that I stole. So exhaling as you crunch. And we're going to do 5 on the other side as well. So extend leg, extend arm. Try and get out of the back bend. And as you exhale, bring your elbow and your knee as close as they come. They definitely might not touch. That's okay. Just bring them as close as they will go today. 4 and 5. Good. Come back to your neutral position. We'll sink back down into child's pose. And that's it for our warm-up. So very fast-paced. I hope it made you warm and you're ready for bed or another practice.